Hello and welcome back to my channel. A couple days ago I realized that I have been making and selling jewelry for 1 year, and I also realized that if I could have done some things differently last summer, I would do those things. So now I'm telling my mistakes to you so you could avoid them and maybe feel a bit less stressed than I was feeling. And while I'm talking to you, I'm also going to show you how I transformed these old earrings I made last summer to these new ones with stones. I started my small jewelry business about a year ago because I didn't want to get another job for summer, which sounds so weird, but anyway, and also I wanted to start early because the more you make, the more you make. And I also wanted to sort of like avoid that feeling that when school ends, I would have to start from scratch. I would have some little experience, so it wouldn't feel like I would be just like falling to that black hole to the unknown. And that actually is my number one tip. Start early if you can. I actually even had a teacher in our school who said that, well, you started that business thing kind of early, and I actually disagree with that a lot. When you are in school, you have all these professionals around you, you have all the teachers, you have other students who may already have a business in this specific area, so it's easier to ask the questions and sort of like speak your mind to them if you have anything that you're concerned about. And also, starting a business doesn't mean that you have to sell anything or make anything. I know it sounds a bit weird, but let me explain to you. You can make yourself a work area, start learning how to make an invoice, marketing yourself. You can start, I don't know, communicating with other creators, other artists. It's a lot more than just making jewelry. The second one I remember worrying a lot was that I would need a clear brand, a brand voice, or a collection that I would start like selling these things and I would be taken seriously. But that actually was maybe one of the dumbest things I was thinking. I remember thinking that, hey, I should have all these logos, I should have my brand name, I should have this color palette, I would have a clear brand voice and all that. But the truth is that in the beginning, first of all, you know nothing. Second of all, you probably won't know exactly what things you like. And third of all, you don't know which things work. So I would say, forget all that. Your mind will change so fastly. At least my mind was changing every day, every week. When I'm watching now some of the sketches I've made last summer about the brand logo or brand name, what I was thinking, I'm cringing so hard that my face is probably going to be dislocated. My third advice would be invest to the packaging. And this is something that I wish I would have realized a bit earlier. You wouldn't wrap a $1,000 watch into a banana peel. You are selling a high quality product. It means you have to have at least some sort of high quality packaging. Let me clarify, I don't mean that you have to use 100 euros or dollars or whatever every time you're packing your orders. The packaging is the first thing the customer sees when you send the jewelry to the customer. So obviously you want it to look clean, and if you already have a brand, you have a logo, you have brand colors or something, use those. I mean, like, if I would already have those, I would use those, but I don't have those yet and I'm not gonna rush that thing. I have made a video last year, how did I package my orders, and I will link the video to the description box. It doesn't have to be expensive as long as it's clean and well made. The fourth one would be learn how to make an invoice or a receipt early. If you are making your own invoices, if you are making your own receipts, be sure that you know how to make them before you get the first order. Because I was in a situation where I didn't even have the order yet. Nobody has ordered anything from me. But I hadn't learned how to make the invoice and I was sort of like stressing over it. So what I would do now, if I would have the chance to go back in time, I would take one day a week and dedicate one full day learning how to make the invoice, learning how to make the receipts. And then when I would get my first order, I would already know how to make those. I would already be like stress-free. So that actually was something that I was stressing a lot about. I hadn't made any of those things earlier. I don't have the degree or the education to do those, but you can learn all that from the internet. I asked for my other entrepreneur friends. I also called into this free service they are offering in Finland, and they sort of like give you the answers to these problems you have when you are maybe starting a business or company or whatever. So I called to them and I just like made sure that I had all the things in the invoice and all the things in the receipt that was needed. And the last one, and my favorite one probably, is don't overthink it. I was in the point last summer, where I was overthinking every little aspect of my life. It was extremely stressful. It was extremely harmful for my mental health. So what I learned was that everything doesn't need to be perfect. I was at the point where I was filing, sanding, polishing, washing these teeny tiny pieces of jewelry to the point where there was no sense. I was thinking, is this a good price? Is this good enough? Have I made this well enough? What about this Instagram post? Is this good enough? What I would say to my past self, to that girl last summer, I would say, don't care so much. Of course, you want to make a good jewelry, you want to make a good product, you want people to be pleased what you're doing. You have to sort of like find the perfect balance between aiming to be exceptional and not ruining it at the same time. Those were the 5 things I wish I would have known last summer when I started. And probably when I watch this year later, if I ever watch this, I will be cringing a lot, but it doesn't matter, because the most important thing is that I have learned something. And how can you learn something? You start something, you make something, you learn something. If you have any questions, I will be in the comments section. And thank you so much for watching, and bye.